guys, welcome to part 2 of the Samsung Q1 UMPC review. This part's going to be a little short. We're going to be covering some of the accessories for the system. The screen's not real good on here right now simply because I'm in some bright sunlight, but I wanted to make sure that the video looks really good for y'all. First up, some of these will actually come with this, and if possible, try to find the setup that comes with this. If not, you gotta find it separately online, no big deal. But the first part is a travel case and keyboard, which is what you're looking at now. It's really nice. As you can see, it's got a stand on the back of the case. It's got a hookup for your keyboard here, and there is mouse control. Right there is a mouse nub, kind of like the older laptops, which you can use to control your mouse, and it works out really well. And then whenever you're ready to go, to pack up, this flap here folds to protect the keyboard. This piece goes down over it. There's your stand there, which flaps back down. Then the front part loops around and magnetizes to the front, which makes it a really handy setup for traveling on the go. It's a full mouse keyboard setup, which makes it a lot more convenient to use. And it's all in one. So it's really a must-have accessory for this thing if you're going to use one. Now keep in mind we're using this, like I said, as a portable emulation center. Well, the first thing that we need to worry about when it comes to gaming on this thing is probably going to be storage. My unit only comes with a 60 gig hard drive. I see most of them on eBay actually only come with a 30 gig hard drive. And the internal hard drive is not a 2.5 inch drive. It's a 1.8 inch drive. They're kind of difficult to replace if you can't find the exact one. So really what you're going to be looking at is external storage. So what I recommend is a Seagate 2.5 inch external hard drive. Now you want to get one that's powered through your USB cable too. You don't want to get one of the ones that's powered through the wall plus takes your USB cable. I know those are great for your basic home backup units and whatever, but for a traveling portable hard drive you want one that takes the power and the data straight through your USB cable. The particular one I have is a 500 gig model. You can find these for about $89 online, and the one that you're seeing here, I got a case for it, a nice little leather case. It's got a pocket in the back to store the cable in. But really this is a must-have. That way you can load up all your MAME ROMs, all your ISO images. I mean, it's a perfect setup. Next you need a control method. Well, I have a unique little controller here. This is made by Genius. I believe it's called the Pandora MaxFire Pro. And here it is. This thing is tiny. It's about the size of a... Well, it's actually about the size of the USB hub I'm going to show you here next. And the cooler part, it flips and snaps shut. Now you'll see there's not really a start or select button on there. The two smaller buttons you see over there are turbo and clear. However, it does have an analog control stick, 4 face buttons, and then 4 shoulder buttons on the top, and it uses just a standard USB cable there. It's not the most comfortable control pad in the world. It works out well for, I mean, what I use it for, but, you know, it's a lot more comfortable to come back to my home controller. However, it does work fine for basic games, basic gameplay and whatnot, and the size is perfect for traveling. I love this thing. Now, keep in mind this thing here, it only has 2 USB ports on it, so you're going to need a USB hub. Really any USB hub will work. I got a Targus here from Walmart. It's like $10. It has little blue LEDs in there that start to glow whenever you're plugged in and it detects a signal. However, it also makes a great size comparison for this controller I got here. You can see this is a 4-port hub, and you know roughly how large a USB port is. And there is the controller on top of it. So yeah, that's one tiny controller. Okay, now the last part, and this is important to me at least, is internet on the go. While we are using this thing primarily as a emulator workstation, mobile internet is really an important thing when it comes to electronics. I'm just asking anyone who has gotten used to the mobile internet on iPhone, only to switch phones later on. Well, Virgin Mobile has just announced here recently a $40 unlimited over-the-air internet package, which is pretty wild. So for 40 bucks, you can have roughly unlimited internet. I'm going to call it roughly unlimited because if you look close in their terms and conditions, you can't use your computer as a server, so more or less that throws out you BitTorrent guys. But it does say unlimited video streaming. So, you know, any time you want to watch YouTube or something, which would normally eat up your wireless internet, you're good to go with this thing. There's two types you can get. One is called MiFi, which is like a little Wi-Fi router almost that has the receiver built into it. Now that would work, however you have to plug it in and whatnot. For something like this, I would recommend a USB piece like this here. Just plugs in via USB and it hooks up to the internet. And even better, if you can see it there, there's a micro SD card slot right there. So you can store up to, I believe, 8 gigs of data on this thing as well. So not only are you using it for your internet purposes, you've got an extra 8 gigs of storage on there, which is fine for your smaller ROMs like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Atari 2600 and television and whatnot. It's a perfect storage set for that, so you can save a little bit of room on your hard drive. Well, that's going to be it for the accessories video for the Samsung Q1 UMPC. Next video, which will come up in a week or two, we're going to probably go over the discussion of the emulators, how they perform. Just a quick heads up on here, emulators perform well up to the 16-bit era and many of the MAME titles. I did test up the 3DO, it did not perform well. 3DO is not playable, so going off that, I'm going to assume PS1 is also not playable. We'll go ahead and try it out, but I'll assume PS1 is not playable. And one more thing I forgot in the video before I go, one more accessory. Okay, sorry about the jump there. I don't know how I forgot this, but one more accessory you do need is some sort of USB optical drive. This thing does not have any CD drive, obviously, so you're going to need a drive for it to get your CD-based stuff on there. This one here is a DVD multi-burner. It does dual-layer DVDs. One thing that is funny, I'll show you real quick here. It has a 2-head USB plug. However, one is just for extra power, it seems. Whenever I hook up with only this plug here, where it's before the split, it works completely fine. The second one, I guess, is just for extra power, just in case it needs it or whatnot. I've never actually had to use it, though. And it's probably a good thing, too, because look how far apart the USB ports are on here. You'd never stretch that thing out to cover both of them, and you'd lose your keyboard, too. But, this Samsung drive here, it works just fine. So, sorry about forgetting that one. That's it for the accessories here for the Q1 UMPC. And that's more or less all you need to turn this into a feasible portable emulation platform. We'll see you next time with part 3.